But first tonight, trials have been set for the two people arrested in connection to the murder of a New Hampshire couple. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jeremiah Marshall in for Drew Spire. Action 10's Crystal Dominguez was at the Clayburgh County Courthouse this morning and has an update.
Adam Curtis Williams and Amanda Noverre. These two have been behind bars in connection with the missing New Hampshire couple's double murder. The two were arraigned separately in court today and pled not guilty to 3 charges: tampering with evidence, theft, and felons in possession of a firearm. Williams' indictments, however, were enhanced because he's been deemed a habitual offender. If convicted, he'll face stiffer penalties. 2 of his 3 charges were upgraded to first-degree felonies, which could mean life in prison. James and Michelle Butler were reported missing last October, and their remains were found weeks later on Padre Island. Williams and Noverre were captured in Mexico and brought back to Texas. The story made national headlines. Because of the publicity, Judge Jack Pulcher expanded a gag order at the request of Williams' attorneys. During Noverre's hearing, her attorney asked the judge if the medical records and birth certificate of Noverre's child could be released to her brother, who is now the child's guardian. Pulcher approved. Noverre's child was in the Butler's stolen truck with Williams and Noverre when they crossed into Mexico. Last month, District Attorney John Hubert said whether they indict on murder or capital murder, or not at all, will depend largely upon additional evidence. Williams and Noverre's trial is set for May 11th. Crystal Dominguez, Action 10 News.
A man who police say fired shots at a B County deputy during a wild pursuit early this morning is now behind bars. Search dogs from the McConnell Prison Unit were brought in to help with the search. It all began around 2:30 in the morning. The B County deputy tried to pull over a car with paper license plates, and the driver sped off along U.S. Highway 59. During the chase, the driver backed up a couple of times and rammed the deputy's unit. The chase finally ended when the driver pulled onto a dead end of the road and crashed into a fence.
The fence stopped the vehicle, but while the driver was sitting there spinning the tires, the vehicle caught on fire.
The driver bailed out of the car and pulled a gun. The deputy fired 3 shots, but the driver ran off. He was caught late in this morning hour near Beeville Live Oak County line. Police in Ingleside are looking for a man who may be in danger. Earlier this week, police picked up Dominique Williams and brought him to Corpus Christi for a mental evaluation. He was taken to Doctors Regional Hospital. He broke free from an officer and ran off. Williams is about 5'9" and has a scar on his left shoulder, forearm, and the name Tanya tattooed on his chest. If you know where he is, you're asked to call the Ingleside Police. And it was scary moments for people inside a cell phone store tonight. It happened around 7:30 at the Metro PCS store on Weber near Holly. Police say a man walked in and pointed a gun at a person inside. He made off with some cash and jewelry. Police are searching for the robber. And no arrests have been made in last night's deadly shooting. The victim is identified as 17-year-old Hubert Morton and was shot last night on Carolyn Drive near Crosstown. Neighbors say they heard multiple gunshots in the area. Police found Morton shot. He died at the hospital. No word on any suspects in this shooting. And an elderly woman died in an early morning fire at her home on the city's west side. Our Annie Lascano has the details.
This is ring cam video of a house on the 900 block of National Drive in the city's Molina neighborhood on fire early this morning. By the time neighbors and Corpus Christi firefighters tried getting inside, it was too late to save the elderly woman neighbors say lived there. Guy Lewis lives across the street. He said by the time his dogs woke him up and he went outside, the house was already on fire. But he and a neighbor still did what they could to get the woman out.
And I crawled in there only about like 10 feet, and then that smoke hit me and knocked me out. Then he tried to go in there, I had to pull him out.
Corpus Christi Fire Chief Robert Rocha said firefighters did what they could as soon as they got to the scene.
Upon arrival, they had heavy fire conditions showing, and so it was very difficult, but crews were able to get inside, but unfortunately, we do have one fatality.
Andy Lascano, Action 10 News.
Investigators believe 93-year-old Lorraine Hill died in the fire. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. And the YMCA on Upper Broadway is closed after a small fire broke out last night. An air handling unit sent up smoke throughout the whole building. The YWCA is allowing members to use their facility. And coming up on Action 10 News at 10, a local Marine veteran says you're never too old to get your college degree. We'll introduce you to him next.
The Department of Justice is working to prove its independence from the president. I'm Katherine Johnson at the White House as the president pushes back.